Hey, I'm Allison from Learning at the Primary Pond. I'm a literacy specialist, and in this video, I'm going to share with you how to use my free phonics diagnostic assessment, which I'll tell you how to grab in a little bit, to identify phonics gaps in your students, to figure out what each child needs to work on, and also to make groups in case you want to do some small group phonics or small group reading instruction. This is going to be super handy, and I'm also going to, not only dig into how to use it, but why you would want to use this in the first place. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right now and also hit the little bell so that you're notified every time I post a brand new video about teaching literacy in K2. Okay, so let's talk about why we would use this, right? Question for you first. Have you ever been surprised by a gap in a child's phonics knowledge that is revealed when they're reading or spelling a word? So for example, let's say that you got a second grader who you're working on vowel teams with them. Maybe they're even reading multisyllabic words, but then you notice that for some reason they're struggling with consonant blends. Like they're not maybe pronouncing them correctly, or they're hard to spell. And you think like, oh my goodness, they should have covered consonant blends in like first grade, maybe even kindergarten. This is a surprising gap. If something like that has ever happened to you, right now in the comments, just type yes, so that teachers know that if they've ever noticed a surprising gap, they are definitely not alone. Okay, so the why behind using this. We need to understand what our kids know and do not know when it comes to phonics, because phonics is the foundation of the reading house. So if you think about a foundation of an actual house, now, I don't really know much about construction, but what I do know is that if you've got problems in the foundation, the rest of the house, it might start to sink, things might start to crack, like everything lays on that foundation, right? And so with phonics instruction, it's basically the same. Fluency, reading fluency, comes from being able to recognize and decode words quickly and accurately. That's a lot of what fluency is. And so if our foundation of phonics is faulty, if it's got some cracks or gaps in it, then reading fluency is going to be impacted. Now, reading comprehension, we can understand text best when our minds are freed up to actually focus on what the words mean, as opposed to having to spend lots of time and energy just figuring out what the words say. Because think about a child who is reading like really slowly and it's taking them a long time and they're just getting stuck. Their comprehension's probably not going to be that great, right? Or at least it might be, if they've got comprehension, it might be pretty surface level, because your working memory isn't just like freed up. It's just not freed up to think about the meaning of the text when you're very painstakingly, slowly, laboriously decoding these words. So I hope that makes sense as to how phonics is really like the foundation of the reading house. And it's not enough for us to say like, oh, I think their phonics knowledge is okay. Like they do okay on their spelling tests and whatever. That's unfortunately not enough, especially when we get into like first and second grade and even beyond that, because, foundation, if there's a crack, we might not see it, but it is going to impact fluency and it is going to impact comprehension. So we need to make sure that that foundation is really filled in, no gaps or anything like that. And that's where this free assessment can help. So now what I'm going to do is I am actually going to change the camera and switch it so that we are looking directly at this phonics assessment. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. It is very easy. It's not something that's going to take you a long time to figure out. I'm going to show it to you precisely, and you can do it right away with your students. So let's go ahead and dive into the assessment. Okay, so here we've got our diagnostic assessment. The word diagnostic just means that it's going to tell us specifically what skills the kids need to work on. And I'm going to skip these pages for now, and we're going to come back to them. What I want us to focus on are the actual parts of the assessment so you can see what to do and how easy it is. Okay, so letter sounds, those are the basics. You would assess this if you work with kindergarten students, first grade students, or even students in second grade that you're like, ooh, decoding is not so good. So that's pretty straightforward, right? You just sit down one-on-one with a child and they tell you the letter sounds. Next up, we have a diagnostic spelling test. And what we have here are words that were very carefully selected, and you'll see how that comes into play later. They're very carefully selected to, number one, increase in difficulty level, right? So these at the end are harder. And number 2, to contain specific phonics patterns so that you're seeing what they can and cannot spell. So the reason why there's a sentence, the kids don't have to write the sentence. Literally all you do is you give them blank paper, you have them number it. You could have them number, like if they're like kinders or firsties, you would really just maybe start with 1 through 5. And then if you've got like later first graders or up, you could have them number 1 through 10. You may or may not do all of the words on this list. There's a lot in here, right? So it just depends on the age of your kids and how well they do. If the kids are misspelling like 5 in a row and you're like, okay, we're just not doing okay with these, then you can stop the assessment. It's not a big deal. You could do this in small groups as well. You could do it whole group. You could do it one-on-one if you have the time, really whatever. It's up to you. So the words aren't like super, super common words, so they wouldn't necessarily know how to spell these already, hopefully. And then I give you a sentence that you read to the kids. It's basically just a spelling test. They spell the word, and then you collect the paper and analyze it. And we're going to talk about analyzing it in a second. The other component of this is the diagnostic word reading portion. You wouldn't necessarily reveal all of these words to them immediately. You might have blank paper and be like covering up, and then, you keep going and you can stop when they missed 5 or whatever. But again, these increase in difficulty, so you might not be going through all of them with every child, and they're very intentionally designed to include certain phonics patterns. So those are the components of the exam. I showed you 3. You don't necessarily need to do the letter sounds if your kids, are past that. But then the really beautiful part of this is it gives you a picture of what each child knows and does not know. So this is your like little diagnostic sheet for every individual child, which can be very helpful. I'll show you another option in a minute for scoring, but with this, what you do is you just mark off the letter sounds they got correct and incorrect. You could even use 2 different colors for correct and incorrect, so it really stands out to you. And then like when we look at the spelling, I have underlined the part that each word was testing. And so, if they spelled the underlined part incorrectly, then that is an indication that they need to work on this skill. So for example, let's say they spelled the word pent incorrectly, and specifically they spelled the NT incorrectly, then that's a good indication that the kid needs to work on blends. And of course, let's say they get most of these blends words correct, right? And they only miss 1. No big deal. You just do a little bit of work with them and you move on. But of course, if they miss like all of them or most of them, then that's a good indication they really need to spend some time on this. The word reading is set up similarly. So basically, it's just going to point out like you want them to read the word correctly. And if they don't, then that's the skill that you want to work with them on. So it's very, very specific. So again, using 2 different colors to score can be helpful because you can kind of see, okay, these are the gaps. And then from the gaps, you can address that because again, we don't want our reading house to have a foundation with gaps in it. Okay, so now let's look at the multi-student scoring sheet. I do feel that this individual student scoring sheet is very helpful. If you've got a whole class of students though, you may want to do something like this because you write each student's name here, and then again, you could use 2 different colors or just use like a check mark and an X, and then you see from looking at multiple students, oh, like a lot of kids need to work on short A, and so we're gonna do that whole group. Or just a few kids need to work on short A, so we're gonna address that in a small group lesson with just those kids. So you can kind of see patterns that come out here. So this is the same deal, it's just the letter sounds. And then I also have it for the diagnostic spelling test and the word reading component. And again, I do have it listed here where it's like, okay, if they misspelled this part, then we're gonna work on, sorry, that was my hair. Then we're gonna work on this particular skill. So it is listed out so that you know, hey, they missed these. This is specifically what we need to work on. Okay, so I was looking at, okay, yeah. Diagnostic spelling test. I think I just accidentally pushed to page 1 or to page 2, but we would start, of course, with page 1. Okay, so from there, then again, you can very easily see if you have multiple students listed down here. Oh, a lot of kids need to work on this. Let's do it in a whole group lesson. Or we could say, oh, you know what? Only like 25 to 30% of our kids need to work on blends. So let's really hit that in a small group lesson. And this helps you make your groups too, right? Because you can really see, oh, you know, there's patterns here. These kids need to work on this. These kids need to work on that. And same thing for the word reading. Now, one thing that is interesting to note from the word reading is that often kids will read words before they can spell them. This is very normal. So like, for example, let's say that your kids can read the words with blends correctly. Sorry, that's my hair again. So they can read words with blends correctly. And then on the spelling test, they're not spelling them correctly. Well, we do need them to be able to spell those words correctly. Spelling and reading are reciprocal processes. So spelling helps with reading and vice versa. So even if they can read those blend words correctly, we are still going to work on words with blends as far as spelling goes. Now, maybe they don't have to do tons and tons of word reading activities, but they are going to work on spelling. Okay, so that is how you use the phonics diagnostic exam. You don't necessarily have to do the class composite sheet and this. This can be good for like intervention or really focusing on each student, but the class composite is helpful for seeing groups and determining what to work on whole group, one-on-one, in small groups, etc. Okay, I hope that was helpful to see. Don't forget, this phonics diagnostic assessment is totally free. I'm going to include a link for it along with this video, so make sure to grab it right now before you forget. Thanks so much for watching. Again, hope this was helpful. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.